Okay, if you read the title of this video, you know where I'm going. I've given up on Ohio State. That's because I said in a previous video, I think it was last week, that I think Penn State will beat Ohio State. With that being said, this Iowa-Penn State game is not only a top 5 matchup, not only a matchup of 2 undefeated teams, not only a primetime game, quality game, but it really decides. I feel like this is a playoff elimination match for the college football playoff this year. They're clearly the 2 best teams in the Big Ten. I think those 2 teams would beat anybody else in the Big Ten. Now let's talk about those 2 playing each other. Iowa's got a really good offense. They're very productive on offense. They beat their rival Iowa State, and they've beaten everybody else. That's why they're 5-0. That's why they're a top 5 team right now. And their defense, her defense is just so physical. It's nasty, And then you have Penn State on the other side, also undefeated. They basically ruined Wisconsin's season. I know Notre Dame blew them out, kind of made it look worse, but I think it kind of started with Penn State, knowing that they couldn't get any offense going except for the 1 touchdown in the second half. Penn State also has a really physical defense. I don't think their defense is as good as Iowa's, but Penn State's offense, their third down offense, their passing game, the running attack is pretty good. I think that stacks up pretty well with Iowa. This is going to be a very hard game for Iowa and Penn State. It's very hard to pick who's going to win this football game. I'm going to have to pick Iowa to win this game. It's at Iowa, so that'll be an advantage. Penn State won't have the big stadium like they had last night with Indiana or Auburn a few weeks ago. I think Iowa wins this game by at least a touchdown, maybe 10 points. It's going to be a competitive game. Penn State's not going to be a pushover. I think both teams agree that this is a playoff elimination game. We haven't seen this kind of energy, this much at stake since 2016 when Ohio State and Michigan played, and that controversial loss for Michigan to Ohio State. It should have been a stop. But anyways, I think this game has that sort of feel to it. I don't think it's going to be as much heat in terms of rivalry or hate at the same level as Michigan and Ohio State. And it's also not quite as big because, at the end of the season when it's hate week, you have 2 top 3 teams fighting like Penn State and, not Penn State, but Michigan and Ohio State. Both had losses, and only one knows they're going to make it to the playoffs if they win, and the other one who loses is basically done. It's not at that level yet, but it's pretty close. Think about it. Top 5, both 5-0, both very good football teams, both with high-profile wins. So this is a very, very interesting game for both teams. But I got Iowa winning this game. I think this game will be 24-20, something like that. I think Penn State's going to have a few turnovers in this game. I think Iowa's defense wins this game. It'll be kind of low scoring. Penn State's a very explosive offense, but they're not going to be able to score nowhere near as much as they normally do with Iowa's defense. That's just how I feel. Penn State can win this game if Iowa has turnovers and lays an egg at home. But other than that, Iowa should win this game if they play their cards right.